Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time for Aden in a car driving too much coffee! Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Man! Everybody's quitting YouTube! People can actually retire from YouTube? That's a thing? You're allowed to do that? That'd be nice. A lot of great things. I mean, I was most struck by Matt Pat. If you're not familiar, he is the game theorist. Great YouTube video over there. Happy trails, Matt Pat. Grandpa Matt Pat era inbound. Looking forward to it. And I am here, continuing on as we do, just talking about whatever comes to mind. We talk about of the days, but we're going to continue on. We're not retiring from YouTube. I feel like we're just entering our YouTube era. Maybe it's time for that mantle of all these bigger creators that are just finding that, this isn't exactly, what I want to do anymore and moving on. Maybe it's time for others to take on a bigger role in the larger YouTube scheme of things. Now, granted, a lot of these things are all going on to bigger media companies, and a guy who just films on his drive home probably will have nothing to do with that. But I can talk to you about your houseplants, because it's Houseplant Appreciation Day, everyone. And do we have, at my household, a lot of houseplants? My wife essentially has this jade plant that she has made saplings from for many people. Like, this one jade plant might actually have children in a couple dozen homes at this point. So she has her little jade garden in our front, it's like by our kitchen sink area. It's a nice little nook that we have that has all these plants in it. We have Christmas cactuses, a lot of succulents, the things that don't take a ton of care. The one thing that we do have, this was actually I think it was a birthday gift, maybe a belated birthday gift. Either way, it is a child science experiment. It's for my daughter. We are growing our own mushrooms. They're these red, kind of almost shelf-like mushrooms, or what they're supposed to look like. And they're supposed to be tasty. I love mushrooms. I look forward to eating another mushroom that I've never eaten before. So, do mushrooms count as houseplants? It's the real question. And if they count, does the black mold growing in places, does that count as a houseplant too? These are the questions I ask you that I need the response for. Because I really want to know. But it's also Cut Your Energy Cost Day. Is there a light that you could turn off? I have turned into the dad that just goes around the house and turns off all the lights that nobody's in the rooms that people are in. I am that dad. However, I am also the dad that runs... Well, I mean, if you've ever jumped over to the other social medias where we have the studios going. And I do say studios, plural, because there are more than one. There's a garage and a basement studio now. They don't run, though. They're not constantly running. It's just when they're needed. I have, ways of telling Alexa to turn on the studio and other Wi-Fi ways of doing those sorts of things now. Or at least that's what I'm working on, doing more and more of. So you might be eating your houseplants, but you also need something to eat of the day-wise, right? And today is the day that you should be enjoying some bittersweet chocolate. I do love me some chocolate. Despite the ongoing diet of the year, I did have some caramel chocolate square things last night, and they were great. They fed that little hunger right before bed, which is not a good time to be having any of that, but nonetheless, I did it. I know I'll pay for it, but quite delicious. I love caramel. I love chocolate. It's also Peculiar People Day. Does liking caramel and chocolate make me a peculiar person? Nah, probably not. But there are other quirkiness things that might put me into that category. But today is the day that we celebrate those of you that are peculiar. Quite peculiar in an interesting way. At least we hope. And that's our day, folks. Do you have Christmas cactuses? Are they blooming still? Did they bloom on Christmas? I think they're a neat plant. Jade plants are pretty cool too, but, you know, they don't bloom. And I do like mushrooms. So if mushroom's a houseplant, let's have more houseplants. As long as I can eat them. When they've grown, you know. Alright, everybody. Stay happy. Stay healthy. We'll catch you on the flip side. See ya!